Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by. I would like to welcome all of you to the SaverOne Investor Webinar. My name is Kenny Green, and I'm part of the Investor Relations team at SaverOne. I would like to remind everyone that this conference call is being recorded, and the recording will be available later on SaverOne's website. With me today on the call, we have Mr. Ori Gilboa, SaverOne CEO, and Mr. Yossi Cohen, SaverOne COO. Ori and Yossi will open by providing an overview of the recent news at SaverOne, and then we'll open for the question and answer session. Throughout the call, you may enter any question you have in the chat box, and we'll take as many as we can. This webinar may contain some forward-looking statements. These statements are only predictions and may change as time occurs. I refer you to the forward-looking statements in the presentation. And with that, I'd now like to hand the call over to Ori Gilboa, SaverOne CEO. Ori, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Kenny. And hi, everyone. And I want to thank you for taking the time today and joining us. As Kenny said, my name is Ori Gilboa, and I'm the CEO of SaverOne. And together with me, my colleague, Yossi Cohen, the COO and co-founder of SaverOne. I used to open our presentations with our mission, as SaverOne's mission is very clear. We are literally on a mission to save lives. This is common to all of us at SaverOne, investors, management, and employees. SaverOne developed a one-of-a-kind solution to prevent drivers from using dangerous application while driving. And earlier this month, we announced some very exciting achievement for us. The first was the second-generation technology and aftermarket product launch. Later, we announced SaverOne entrance to the ADAS sensor market with a VRU, Vulnerable Road User Solution, and completing successful POC for the VRU solution with a major European truck and bus OEM. And the last one, yesterday, we have announced that we have signed an MOU with Iveco, another leading global truck and bus manufacturer. This MOU details the cooperation between SaverOne and Iveco and the intentions of Iveco to have SaverOne system integrated in the vehicles. You can see this announcement in our IR site online. In the next few slides, we will explain why we are so excited about this milestone. We will concentrate on the new and huge business opportunity entering the ADAS market. And we will explain what is so unique about our new VRU solution and what problems of current sensor it is solving. Let's go to the next one. I will start with a short reminder about SaverOne. We are based in Israel, as you all know. We are publicly listed, and our shares trade on the NASDAQ and on Tel Aviv Stock Exchange under the trading symbol SVRE. We have been trading on the TASE since 2020 and on NASDAQ since June this year. We have spent the last 2 years in development of our second-generation technology and global aftermarket product, while executing 10 pilot projects in Israel. Currently, we have more than 40 active Israeli customers and more than 1,100 vehicles with our system installed. We have 20 approved and pending patents in the US, Europe, China, and Israel. We have 40 employees, mostly in the R&D, and we are now in a process of building our global sales team as part of our global launch effort. Next slide, please. In this slide, you can see some of our customers and partners, among them large Israeli corporates and Israeli subsidiaries of global corporates from diverse industry. And actually, we are getting a faster and stronger pace in the last few months in penetrating the Israeli corporations and in several different and new verticals. In this slide, you can see our long-term business strategy and the role of the second-generation technology as we presented a few months ago during the IPO roadshow. Earlier this month, we have announced the second-generation technology and new global aftermarket product. The new system passed the CE and FCC certifications and will enable us to start our global expansion. Yet, the big news that the new platform brings is that it will enable us to expedite the expansion to new verticals. And the first and most significant new vertical is the VRU solution. This slide explains the two business directions that SaverOne offers based on its core technology. The first is the solution for preventing drivers' cellular distraction. This solution consists of commercial, global, aftermarket products, and OEM solution that is now in development. The second is completely new line of business, a new sensor in the ADAS sensor suite, offering new solution for unsolved problems in detecting VRUs. The detections of VRUs is a challenge for the current vehicles as well as for future autonomous vehicles. And the market size of this sensor is estimated in billions of dollars. In the next couple of slides, I will ask Yossi to give some details about our VRU solution. Yossi, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ori. Modern vehicles will use an array of ADAS sensors to detect, alert, and control vehicles. This slide shows the various technologies that are being developed and some of the companies in the arena. SaverOne's technology will join the ADAS suite and in its effort to detect VRUs. SaverOne's solution will bring its unique abilities to operate in tough weather and visibility conditions. And in addition, SaverOne will add its unique ability to detect pedestrians that are distracted by their cellular phones. In this slide, we show the power of SaverOne solution dealing with significant problems that current ADAS sensors are struggling with. Weather conditions, lighting conditions, non-line of sight, and the detection of pedestrians that are distracted by their mobile phones. These are all issues that the current sensors fail to cope effectively with. Well, all these issues can be solved with the SaverOne technology. Back to you, Ori.
Thank you, Yossi. And to sum this part of the presentation, and before taking questions, I would like to say that we have reached a very important milestone while completing significant achievements this month. With our second generation technology, we are moving in full power towards global expansion, both in the aftermarket and the OEM market. The VRU unique solution opened whole new market potential for us. We believe that we are in a leaping point towards implementing our vision to become a successful company that does something good for humanity by saving lives. I would like to thank you, and we are happy to take now any question that you have. Kenny, for your management.
Thank you. Thank you, Ori. Thank you, Yossi. So we will now open for questions. So if you do have a question, you're welcome to type it into the question and answer box or in the chat box, which we will be monitoring. So we will go through a few questions first that we have been sent. And our first question is, can you explain the new business? Why is it different and what is its business potential?
Yes, thank you, Kenny. Well, as I explained, SaverOne started. What? Are we okay? As I explained, SaverOne started with the solution for distracted drivers. Now, with the same technology, the same core technology, we are moving into a completely new, different ballgame. We are using the same technology, the same ability to detect phones that in the past we were using it to phones that are in the car, detecting them, and then blocking the use of dangerous application by the driver. Now we are taking the same ability, looking outside the car. We receive all the signals of cellular phones, of pedestrians, of cyclists, of coconut, and all these micro-mobility vehicles, but especially pedestrians. We can detect them and then give the alert to the car. This ability to detect pedestrians is the blind spot or the hard spot or hard point, or let's say that the weak point of the current ADAS sensor suite. And SaverOne, but by its ability to passively detect the pedestrian that's going with his phone, and is maybe it's the only one that can, or not the only one, but at least let me be modest. But it is very unique ability to detect these phones in adverse weather condition, in non-line of sight, especially with these two points: non-line of sight, adverse weather condition, and of course the light conditions. So we are taking the core technology of detecting, our AI technology of signal analysis, and we give a unique ability to the current ADAS sensor suite.
Okay, thank you, Ori. We have some questions on the Iveco opportunity, so I'll put them both together. Yesterday, you announced a partnership with Iveco. So when will the deal be finalized? When will your product be added into the vehicles that they produce? More color on the Iveco opportunity.
Okay. We gave the first announcement about Iveco a few months ago. Let's say almost a year ago, we started cooperation with them. The milestone that we arrived now, after we demonstrated our system in Iveco, and now I'm talking, at this point, we are talking about the traditional, let's say, what we call SaverOne, the anti-distraction system. We demonstrated this system to Iveco, and the milestone that we achieved now is a detailed MOU detailing what we are going to do in the next year, and also the mutual commitment to have SaverOne system installed in Iveco vehicles in the model, let's say 24-year models. I just have to be very cautious here. It is, first of all, it's before we are going to sign a commercial agreement by the end of this year. That's the plan, and it's all detailed in this MOU. The full details of the MOU are confidential, so we cannot comment more than that. But it is very detailed memorandum of understanding, and the intentions are very clear to have SaverOne anti-distraction system installed, integrated in Iveco vehicles by the model year 2024.
Okay, thank you. So our next question is about the revenue model for the company. So are you selling equipment? Will it be a subscription basis? What are your revenues per unit, per user you think is achievable? When do you believe revenues will start to grow to material levels? General color on revenues. Again, we are talking now,
as I said, the big news for us in this session is getting into the new, let's say, ballgame, or the new area, the new arena of business, which is the ADAS sensor business. This is in a development phase. This is going to be sold as a sensor too, and together with the inputs of vehicle manufacturer. Regarding the first line of business, the anti-distraction system, the first system of the commercial system that we have right now, as we said, and as we explained in the past, we have a commercial system already sold in Israel. We are launching now the global aftermarket commercial system. That was what we declared this month, and that will enable us to sell it through and via distributors across the globe. The sales model of this will be basically a SaaS model, or the model that we are using right now, which is a combination of SaaS and advanced payment. But again, the milestone that we are announcing now has two legs. The first is the global or the starting of the global sales of SaverOne system with its new second generation technology. The reason, or what we did in the last year, was to develop the second generation technology that enable us to operate across the globe without being agnostic to the geographic or the frequencies. And of course, this system is can operate in all the cellular systems, including the fifth generation of the cellular. And the milestone that we achieve now is the second generation aftermarket product. We are continuing with the OEM product. For example, this MOU with Iveco, which means installing SaverOne anti-destruction system as part of integrated in the vehicle manufacturer production line. This MOU with Iveco is the first public one, and we have more, let's say, first step with some other manufacturers as well. And the second one is the new opportunity or the new business for us is taking the same technology, the same core technology, taking it into the ADAS sensor for the distracted or in general VIU, but also or especially for distracted VIU. This system was, we performed the POC, which is also something that we announced this month. We completed the POC where we demonstrated this ability to another, which you cannot say its name now, unfortunately, but another, one of the biggest truck and bus manufacturer in Europe. We completed together with him after 3 months of working, of cooperation and working together with them. We completed a POC where we demonstrated the abilities and the capabilities of SaverOne second generation technology. So this totally new line of business, of course, have a different business model. This is selling the sensor directly to the manufacturer. We also think of, or we also in a process of, let's say, thinking, or it's of because of some of advices that we got from our OEM partners to find or to try to have a aftermarket solution for the VRU as well. For example, for buses, it is something that is very, very interesting, and we are in an initial phase of planning this direction as well.
Okay, so just following on from that, there's a question, obviously apart from the OEM that you did the POC with, has there been any other companies which have expressed interest in the VRU?
There are, the interest in the VRU is, we get interest for the VRU solution across many OEMs. It seems that and I think many of you that read about the automotive industry, and especially about the autonomous vehicle, read about this weak point of detecting sudden pedestrian that's crossing the street. And so this problem of detecting pedestrians in those adverse weather situation or light situation is a problem that all or most of the OEMs are dealing with, and unfortunately didn't find a good enough solution in the current sensors. And what we are saying, and so this is yes, so the answer is yes, we get a lot of interest from other OEMs as well, because we are not replacing the current ADA suite, but we are complementing it with in a very unique problem, in a very unique spot, what we call the blind spot of the current sensor suite.
Okay, thanks for that. So we now have some more general questions about SaverOne. There is a question here about the shareholder structure of the company. How much the management and founders own? Are there any VCs still invested in the company, etc.? It's more a shareholder structure question.
Well, the company today is a public, as we said, public company. Most of the shares are held, traded in Tel Aviv, and most of the shares are held by the public. We have some major. Our chairman is one of the biggest shareholders. Management and employees have options. Founders have some options, but the main majority of the shares held by the public, and you can look at it in the public publications of SaverOne.
Okay, so we have a question here about your plans for next year and upcoming milestones. What do you plan for 2023? What are your milestones for
Well, actually, so we are concentrating now in two. We will concentrate in 2023, and it is actually now, it's just around the corner, in two main directions. The first direction, the first thing is, of course, the global expansion of the anti-destruction system. As we already announced in the past, we have signed few agreements, distribution agreement. We have a distributor waiting for us for our system in Abu Dhabi. We have somebody waiting, another distributor waiting for us in New Zealand and Australia. We have some fleets waiting for us in the States to start the pilots, the same pilots that we did in the States, and of course, to keep the expansion in Israel. And just mention, I think I mentioned that during the presentation, but in the last few months we are growing rapidly in Israel, and we are planning to do the same in Europe with some fleets that are waiting for us in the States, and as I said, with these two partners that we already signed distribution agreement.
Okay, so the following.
That's the first one. That's the first one. The second direction is, as we said, this is the OEM solution for the anti-destruction. We are, as we said, we are supposed to sign a commercial agreement with Iveco by the end of this year, and then we will work on we will keep the development of the OEM solution. And of course, the third direction will be the development of the VRU solution. So, on one side, commercially deployment of the current solution, SaverOne anti-destruction system for both aftermarket and OEM, and in a different angle, developing the VRU solution.
Okay, so just as a reminder to everyone, if you have a question, please enter it into the Q&A box, and we will try and answer as many as we can. Okay, so and just as a follow-on question to that, so I mean, what are the timelines for the international deals? You've launched Generation 2 product. When do you actually think that you'll see these deals?
We believe that even by the end of the year, we will start some implementations or some installing system in fleets, also in the States, and probably in Abu Dhabi. And so that first step or first fleets will be installed by the end of this year, and of course the first quarter will be the first quarter of next year. That will be the more a stronger pace of installation.
Okay. We have a question here about arrangements that you have with Israeli insurance companies to encourage the installation of SaverOne devices. So are you speaking to insurance companies?
Yes,
how's that work?
The insurance company, the insurance is definitely a very strong stakeholder from our side to our anti-destruction system. And we are in discussions with several insurance companies. What we already done is we've signed an agreement with the largest insurance agency in Israel for commercial vehicles. And they bought I think it was 2,000 units already, and they are offering this system to their clients. That when they install SaverOne system, they receive a reduction in the premium. So we already started this. We have an agreement with them. We already started with few fleets installation and getting this special premium. And we believe that that when we have more and more fleets that running with our system, they will get together with us and with this insurance agency to the insurance company, and we'll receive a push from this direction of them. So to summarize what I'm saying, we are not using it with the insurance company, but we have the largest agency in Israel, for example, which is account for more than 50% of the commercial vehicles in Israel, working with us and offering this system to their clients. We believe that this will get stronger next year.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question about VRU. So is it already ready for commercial use, still in development? If it's still in development, when do you believe it will be available for commercial installation?
It is, as I said, the VRU is still in development. What we did, we got to a point where we can, and this is what we are doing right now, showing a POC, which means initial system working, and showing it to the OEM. It will get into development during the next year. And when we're talking about commercial, and this is something that we have to understand, it depends, as I mentioned before. If we talk about the integrated system, that will take more time. It will happen together with our cooperation with the different OEM, the installation in the car. Our ability to have a sensor that is ready for them to integrate will take place in the coming years. But the main development will be done during the next year. If you're talking about aftermarket system, as I said, it's a new direction that we are thinking about that, and we'll be happy to tell you if we decide to go for an aftermarket solution as well, and that will be much quicker. But the technology itself, the ability, the sensor itself, and the algorithmic and all the AI that's around it, this is what is taking place right now, and will be accelerating during 2023.
Okay, next question, more general question. Do you have any plans for equity capital raising through means outside of sale of your products?
Well, we are entering this new direction. We will definitely sometime need another capital raise. That was also part of our plan. Not very soon. We just implemented the IPO in a few months ago. So currently we are not in the need of money. So in the future, if it's a general question, a general answer, in the future, we believe yes, but we don't need it right now. not in the coming, let's say, 12, 18 months. And in addition to that, I would like to mention that we look, what we explained now, that we are looking at SaverOne as in two different businesses. The aftermarket anti-destruction business is getting to really the last miles of the development. Actually, we think we finished development. So this side of the business is going to be revenue generating very, very soon. As we said, we will start to create much more significant revenues during 2023 and going forward. And not revenues, but also getting to a profitable situation. But as I said, our vision is not where we are not stopping in this solution only, and we are seeing ourselves as a player in the automotive safety market. And for the further development, we will raise more money.
Okay. All right. As a reminder, if you have a question, you can enter it in the Q&A box. So we have another question here. So for your international expansion, will you be using distributors in the US or Europe? Have you begun discussions with any?
Yes, absolutely. Our business model is based abroad, is based on distributors. As we said, we already signed agreement with distributors, not in Europe and as I said, in the UAE and Australia and New Zealand, and we are looking for partners, and we are discussing with partners in Europe and in the States as well. These will be TSPs or other companies that are dealing with installation of automotive equipment in the aftermarket.
Okay. Okay, so we have another question. I mean, what is your long-term vision for SaverOne?
Well, this is something, I think I said that I'm starting the presentation by our vision. So first of all, yes, we would like to be a meaningful player and save life in this on the road, as we say. In terms of the business, the way we see it, as I said, we see SaverOne as a player in this market that give different solutions to these safety issues, to be very, very, in the short term, very quickly, to offer this SaverOne aftermarket anti-destruction, anti-cellular destruction system and become profitable. In addition to keep developing our technology and our unique technology and abilities to the now in the automotive area, with the VRU solution. And this technology, I might say, as we mentioned in the past, can have more applications and more in more verticals, even outside of the automotive business, but this is maybe for a future webinar.
Okay, I think that ends, just check we don't have any more questions. I think that ends the Q&A session. So before I hand back to Ori, I'd like to remind everybody in the coming hours, we will upload a recording of this webinar. So everyone will be able to listen to it. It will be on the investor relations section of SaverOne's website. So I would like to thank everybody for joining this call and asking your questions. And with that, Ori, do you have any closing statements?
Yeah, again, I would like to say to all our investors that yes, we are very, very excited at this point, at this milestone that we achieved. We are very, very excited for the near and long-term future for SaverOne. And I would like to thank thank everybody that joined us and to join you with the thanks. And
Next week, thank you.
sorry, yeah, thank you for that, Yossi. Next week we are presenting in Think Equity presentations and in New York, and we'll be glad to see you there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. That will end our conference call, and you may all disconnect now. Thank you very much.